Welcome everyone, you're watching our special, The Cup That Matters. I'm Shivani Gupta and breaking news coming in just right now. India have been restricted to just 300 for 7 in their 50 overs against Pakistan in the all-important match. Well, we're showing you a sad Dhoni because this is definitely not the target that India would have been looking for, especially after being 160 odd after around 30 overs mark, with a very solid performance and partnerships for the second wicket and third wicket and 200 run partnerships in the match. India would have expected to reach at least 320. But the late order surge wasn't just there as Pakistan hit back. Sohail Khan picking up 5 wickets, especially towards the end, to derail the acceleration in the later stage of that innings against Pakistan. Nikhil Chopra with me in the studio. Nikhil, are we fair to say that India should be unhappy with this score and they've been restricted to 300, which in today's one-day cricket is a par score, especially on a batting wicket like Adelaide? Absolutely.
With the new restrictions, now that you're only allowed 4 fielders outside the 30-yard circle, in terms of boundaries have increased in a 50-over game. But I'll tell you something, you're a hard taskmaster, aren't you? You're getting not happy with 300, but you're absolutely right, Shivani.
Well, from where they were at one point, 200 run partnerships, almost 2 centurions in the match, Suresh Raina with 70 odd as well, they would have liked to go ahead of that.
It's the last 5 overs, I felt, where Pakistan got some sort of momentum back and they were able to restrict Team India. You're absolutely right. We were on course to get about 320 odd runs. But also, don't forget, Shivani, in a high voltage game, in a high pressure game, you can add those 20 odd extra runs, because as soon as our quicker bowlers, if they pick up a couple of early wickets, it'll just send panic in the Pakistani lineup. But if you're a little calculated, if you're calm, you keep your nerves, if you think about the average score in the last 10, you say, 75. So in the 40 overs, you're only looking to get 220 odd runs, if you calculate. But the most important thing is for the Indian bowlers now, Shivani, the new ball has to do the talking.
Absolutely. The task is cut out for the Indian bowlers. Boria Majumdar, consulting editor, enjoyed the Indian innings from Adelaide itself at the Oval. But Boria, you would not be happy with the target yourself. 301 runs, not really. That will give India a lot of confidence with their bowling problems.
There might be a bit of swing, and if you see, there was a bit of bounce on that track. I mean, when Sohail Khan was bowling to Virat Kohli, there was a bit of bounce. So it's not that bad. I mean, 300, it's a huge score. Yes, you can expect 320. Having said that, if you field well, 300 can immediately be sort of pepped up and topped up to 320. Still, India, I would say, halfway stage, 300 in a high-pressure game is a lot of runs. Maybe 55-45 India rather than 65-35.
That's right. It's really anybody's game right now. That's what a score like 300 does. A target like 301, isn't it, Nikhil? You've not quite won the first stage.
No, absolutely, you're right. Had you got 330 odd plus, then you could have said, well, at least 70-32 Team India, until unless somebody plays a blinder of an innings, 60 ball, 100, and you get back the opposition in the game. But that's not the course. Now you'll have to be very calculated. The game is literally open. 300 runs on this sort of track, these new field restrictions, 2 new balls. The only thing that's going in India's favour at this moment of time, what Boria said. It's become cloudy, it's a little windy, under lights. I have a feeling our Indian pace bowlers will get a little bit of assistance and that might be able to do the trick.
Right, let's just take a look at the final scorecard then for India at half-time, the mid-innings scorecard. Like we said, 300 for 7, they lost as many as 4 wickets for just about 27 runs towards the end, which is not what you would want with the kind of batting lineup that India has. Ravindra Jadeja, Rahane coming in, there's Ashwin as well. 107 though, the star of the innings was Virat Kohli, and we'll talk about him. Shikhar Dhawan, so good to see him coming back into form as well. A 73, extremely unfortunate to be run out. And Suresh Raina, always the very good middle overs man that India has. A 74 from him. Sohail Khan, good innings from him with the ball. 5 for 55. He was really the only bowler from the Pakistani lineup that troubled the Indians. Wahab Riaz, economical but not very potent. Apart from these two, The famed bowling lineup, Nikhil, if I can say, the feared bowling lineup of Pakistan looked very pedestrian.
No, all eyes, all concentration was on the tall, lanky lad Irfan, but unfortunately he wasn't on course to what everybody was expecting. But credit where it's due. I think Sohail Khan bowled extremely well. He kept it there and thereabouts, and it was hard for some of the Indian batsmen to score off him. And Wahab Riaz, 155 kilometers an hour, that one delivery, that is sharp, Shivani. You got to give credit where it's due. That kind of pace on Australian tracks. How well did Suresh Raina play? Everybody keeps talking about him not being able to play against the quick, against the short pitch stuff. But I think in those middle overs, he handled the quick bowlers fantastically well.
Right, let's talk about Virat Kohli though. And Bore, I want to come to you with this. That innings by Virat Kohli must have been enjoyed by fans thoroughly. But the good thing is that it wasn't just Virat. It was also Shikhar Dhawan and it was also Suresh Raina. So the concerns with the middle overs and the middle order, and especially with Shikhar Dhawan as an opener, those seem to be fading away, if not completely away.
Nicely said. I mean, the fact that you gave credit to Shikhar Dhawan and Suresh Raina is exactly what is due. In fact, when Virat was nearing the 100, if you see, he slowed down a tad. You did not feel it because Suresh Raina was going brilliantly. 70 odd of 50 balls, that was the innings that might win you the game. Virat 107 of 126, exceptional knock, brilliant knock, but a tad slow towards the end when he was nearing the 100. Maybe he was getting tired. 39 degrees centigrade, baking heat during the Indian innings. That's where Suresh Raina was so handy. Hit the ball hard, got it going, gave that comfort zone, that cushion to Virat to power on and get that 100. Superb batting performance from Dhawan, who deserved the 100. Unfortunate to get run out, but then Virat had to hang in there, get the 100, take India to 300. I'm saying it, Shivani, it's clouded up. It's a breeze blowing. If the faster bowlers get a bit of swing, 300 can easily be 320 with some handy fielding. And it's a very good fielding unit. Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, Ravindra Jadeja. So yes, at this point in time, you may be a tad disappointed, so am I. But I do think with Virat Kohli, Shikhar and Suresh Raina's batting, India still very much in the driver's seat.
Bore, why don't we get some voices from the fans? What do the people around you feel at Adelaide? Are they happy with the score?
Are you happy with the score that India got?
Well, India should have got around 320, but then 300 should be an imposing total on this ground.
What do you think?
Yeah, I also think, we should have at least crossed the mark of 320. We missed out in the last 2-3 overs. It was very critical. But still, we had a very, very competitive score, and I still very strongly feel that we have a chance to win.
It's the same sentiment, Shivani, what you were echoing in the studio. 320 was on course. Maybe the last few overs didn't go to plan, but 300 definitely competitive. If you don't win with the 300, maybe the extra 15 wouldn't matter. Fact is, you bowl well now. The batsman done the job. Now the captain and the bowlers, you need to deliver.
All right, let's take a look at what people around India feel. We heard from fans in Adelaide, but let's also listen in to what fans in Mumbai feel. Let me go across to my colleague Rasesh Mandani first up. Rasesh, are fans echoing the same sentiment in Mumbai as well? A tad disappointed, but hopeful that the Indian bowlers can do the job.
You're right, Shivani. A tad disappointed with the final flourish didn't come. In fact, the hall that I am where this big match is being played out on the big screen was full. They're off to take a break. They can miss the opportunity of being on TV, but they don't want to miss out on the action, which would resume soon. Right. But yes, the loudest cheers were reserved for someone like a Virat Kohli who came up with this ton on a big situation. It may not be a knockout game, but an India-Pakistan game is looked upon by both the sides in that context. So yes, I think that is where Virat Kohli, for him, the loudest cheers were reserved. The sense one gets of speaking with the people here, the people who come in from America as well to watch this game, to meet their relatives, they are flocking in to watch the game, that they would think that with India perhaps 20-25 runs short of what they could have been if the flourish has happened, it's going to be a challenge for the bowlers. Indian bowling, of course, not as strong as their batting. Batting remains their strength, so that would be the challenge. But one thing's for sure, this game is set up just fantastically well. The innings has gone to plan. India could not have hoped for a better partnership that someone like that Virat Kohli and Shikhar Dhawan could deliver, and then the knock of Suresh Raina.
Right.
So all in all, people happy, perhaps just a tad disappointed that they couldn't see a few more 4s and 6s towards the end.
All right, Rasesh, I believe all Indian fans, Nikhil, are going to be feeling like this only right now. But let's take a look at some numbers from the match. First up, let's take a look at the wagon wheel for Virat Kohli, the highest scorer for the Indian innings. The important thing is the context here, Nikhil. So much in the run-up, no form really under his belt when he was coming in. And then to score in a big match like this, we all were saying, if Virat, scores, then India is in good hands. And that's exactly what has happened. Scores all around the park. If you look, not so much, in the V in front of the wicket, but overall has done very well. Shikhar Dhawan, now he was the man whose runs perhaps would be the most, worthy, perhaps the most crucial, because 73 runs from him have made all the difference in the outlook for India's batting. Again, runs all around the park for him as well. And this knock is going to give him a lot of confidence. 42 on the onside, 31 on the off. Let's take a look at Raina as well. 73 runs for him as well. And Raina, always the Mr. Dependable, really in the middle overs. He has that knack of accelerating at the right time and making sure that you don't slack in the middle overs. So he did quite well as well. Look at that off onside for him. 36 runs there. Bulk of his scoring coming on the onside. All right, we've taken a look at the wagon wheel. But the important thing to talk about here is, how the momentum mentally also is very, very crucial, Nikhil, isn't it? With India going the way that they were, and then Pakistan, coming up with a burst of 4 to 5 wickets, do you think mentally it shifted a little bit towards Pakistan because they have the momentum going into the second innings?
Well, put it this way, maybe a slight hint where the captain would have been thinking 320, 315, 320 to chase, now, 301. Maybe in that respect, yes. You can go back into the dressing room, tell his team saying, 301 runs on that particular track, quite possible. But if we pick up some early wickets, it's a different case and scenario. Don't forget the two Pakistani spinners, not too much to write home about. Just goes to show at both race spinners, nothing in the track. It'll be how important for the two spinners, Shivani, for Ashwin and Jadeja, those 20 overs will make a big, big difference out there in the middle. If they can go out there, bowl well, pick up a couple of wickets, it's going to be a different case and scenario.
All right, let's head into a short break. We'll come back and get you more voices from across the country. We'll go live to various metros and other cities and tell you just what fans feel about this target of 301 that India has set for Pakistan. Latest update is that it is getting a little cloudy and a little windy in Adelaide. Will that make a difference as far as the second innings is concerned? All that and more we'll discuss. People are saying with the hashtag real final. First up, ऐसे छोटे-छोटे देश ऑस्ट्रेलिया में ऐसे बड़े-बड़े खिलाड़ी, that is Raina and Kohli, you know what I mean. Obviously somebody taking a take from Obama's speech earlier when he was in India. Let's go to the next one. That's Virat Kohli, a big ton. Jai Hind, real final. All right, Kohli of course is going to be very, very popular on Twitter, but it wasn't just him, it was also Shikhar Dhawan and Suresh Raina who had big scores. This one is interesting, isn't it, Nikhil? Turns out Pakistan's highest score, batting second in a World Cup, is 264 for 6 versus New Zealand at Auckland in 1992 semi-finals. Hope that record stays, but that was a winning chase. Pakistan actually pummeled New Zealand in that semi-final at home, went on to win the title in 1992. So 264 it was in a very different era. And it was a winning task. And
different conditions as well, don't forget.
Yeah, New Zealand, much different conditions in Adelaide.
Absolutely, and this time around the batting conditions are much, much more in favour of the batsman.
All right, that was a look at what the Facebook world is saying. Let's go across to our correspondents now and get some more voices in. Let me go across to Manogia, first of all. Kolkata, the city of joy. It's turning blue really today, not for football, but for cricket. Manogia, how are the fans feeling in Kolkata? Are they happy? Are they hopeful that India can defend this target?
Well, if I say it's a day full of excitement and perhaps a lot of hopes, I wouldn't be wrong. Let's talk to a few fans on how they're feeling and some youngsters too who've been enjoying the day on Sunday, not studying and rather watching cricket and of course the high voltage match.
Yes, I am very excited to see India win, and 300 is a lot of target.
Oh, a lot of runs there. And how are you feeling about it?
I truly enjoyed every bit of the match, and really 300 is a good score, to give Pakistan a tough fight. Agree, guys?
Yes! How are you feeling? It was a high voltage match. How excited are you about it?
We are very much excited. We want India to win. 300 is a good target. Hip hip, hooray!
Rajat, you've been watching the match very closely. What is your take on the fact, and how excited are you about it? Do you feel India will be able to make it with 300 runs this time?
Absolutely. I strongly believe that 300 is quite a big score for Pakistan to chase. And I believe Pakistan will make around 200, 250, and India is gonna win. India will beat Pakistan.
What is the idea about? Do you feel that India will be able to survive 301?
Yes. India will win. I want India
All
to
right.
win. I'm so excited watching India-Pakistan
Yay!
match.
I'm excited about the India-Pakistan match, and let me tell you, it's about the high voltage match that is here rather than... I don't have to say anything.
All right, Kolkata is very hopeful, Nikhil. They're not circumspect at all. They feel 300 is a lot of runs.
Well, I guess, it's going to be mean on my part to break it to them. The field restrictions, the new rules coming into play.
Yeah, the game has
India's
changed.
only done half the job. At this moment in time, the bowlers will have to come and bowl well, Shivani, to get this game under the belt.
All right, before I go back to Adelaide, I just want to hop across to Bangalore very, very quickly and take a look at what Bangaloreans feel. Are they as hopeful as people in Kolkata? Pratibha, what do you have to tell us?
Well, Shivani, towards the end there was a hint of disappointment there, especially with too many wickets that were out. But then the beginning is when there was a lot of adrenaline rush, and all of them huddled here in one of their friends' houses with a projector screen, and all of them screaming each time there was a 4 and a 6. Let me actually go across to them. Were you actually really excited, especially in the beginning with the batting line?
Super. The way actually Dhoni, Virat, Dhawan, they played great actually. We're not expecting much actually in the tail-enders, but the way actually they played Suresh Raina, we never expected, but the way it played superb.
Well, 300 as a score, how do you think, has India actually played really well, or would you have expected a lot more?
I was expecting something around 330, at least by 325, 330. But 300 is okay. See, we have the World Cup winning captain. The only captain in this tournament, we have the World Cup winning captain. So 300 should be fair enough. It's a tough total. Our bowlers have to pull up their socks and bowl to the best. But 300 is okay. It's a competitive
300 does keep them in the driver's seat, and it seems pretty okay. And all of them pinning their hopes on the captain of the team, that's Team India. And all of them, with their wishes here, are waiting with bated breath to see what will be the final score.
All right, that's actually a very good point. Let me go across to Boria with that. With MS Dhoni at the helm, Boria, you never know. He has a knack of leading India to victory, especially in high-pressure games. And, of course, we have that record against Pakistan in World Cup to bank on.
No doubt, Shivani, at this point in time, 300 is a big score. Yes, you will be disappointed, 15, 20 runs less. But no question, 300, high-pressure match, high-voltage match, Pakistan, not that great a batting lineup, fragility at the top of the order, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who will control his resources well, good bowling conditions, not baking hot. You have to say India has a better chance. Fans here, they also feel the same. You think... See, the party is about to begin here. It's a tough match. It's a tough ask. But the fact is, all said and done, this is now beautifully set up. 320, you would have said 70-30 India. 300, 55-45. But then the batsmen have done the job. In a high-pressure match, you've put that total on the board. Now let Pakistan go and do it. They'll have to bat out of their skins to chase down 300 plus.
In fact, I was going to come to Pakistan's batting. Boria, you've been tracking both of these teams in the run-up, listening to their captains and coaches talk. You spoke to former Pakistan players as well in the run-up. Who do they feel is the meat of the batting lineup? They're the likes of Akmal. There is Misbah himself. There's even Shahid Afridi, who's mercurial but explosive. Who do you think is the batsman they're relying on?
Two people, Yunus Khan and Misbah ul Haq. If Pakistan has to get over the line, one of them will have to get 100. Umar Akmal, extremely talented but extremely inconsistent. So is Shahid Afridi. He's not the batsman of old. Make no mistake about it. So if Pakistan has to get there, Ahmed Shahzad, Misbah ul Haq, Yunus Khan at the top of the order, he'll open. Can he anchor that innings? Can Misbah play an innings like he did against England? These are key players for Pakistan. I will still put my money on India. India, Pak, you've put 300 on the board. Bowling conditions not unfavourable. You've got to say India.
All right, Nikhil, any final words?
Well, absolutely. Pick up some early wickets, Shivani. That'll allow my spinners to bowl that 20 overs. It's going to be very, very tough ask of Pakistan to go out there and chase 301 runs on board.
I just want to say Mohit Sharma, Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav are our pacers. And of course, Ashwin and Jadeja, the spinners, but spin is not really doing much on this track. I want to thank everyone, all of our reporters who joined us across the country and of course Nikhil in the studio. We leave you with former India coach Gary Kirsten, who won the title with India in 2011, reliving some memories of playing against Pakistan. Him talking about how the team got no food to eat before the 2011 World Cup semi-final against the arch rivals. We leave you with that. Thanks a lot for watching.